The DEEBOT X8 Pro Omni is a premium robot vacuum and mop that's designed for people who want serious cleaning power with almost no effort. Let me put this down. It doesn't reinvent how robot vacuums work, but when comparing it to its predecessor, the X5 Pro Omni, which I reviewed a few months back, it improves on nearly everything. More suction, a better brush that resists tangles, a more compact and sleek base station, and a completely redesigned roller mop that's much better at removing grime and stains. Now, there's still a couple of little hiccups here and there, but most of the time, there's a lot to like. So hit subscribe and let's get into it. Welcome to the Tech Shed. Like with any product, let's start with what I deem is the most important aspect to consider: the price. The X8 carries a premium price tag of $1,400 US. Now, that's pretty damn expensive, but it's actually in the middle of the robot vacuum price list. The Roborock Saros Z70 with its rubbish picking up robot arm, what the hell? Wish I had a chance to test that, costs a whopping $2,599 US. And you can also obviously get cheaper options like the Dream L20 Ultra or the Narwhal Frio X Ultra for around $600 to $700 US. So yes, the X8 is expensive, not quite as expensive as the Saros Z70, but at this price you're getting some of the best all-around performance in a robot vacuum. While it doesn't do anything wildly unique like have a robot arm that picks up rubbish, it does everything you'd expect at this level, and it does it really well. The X8 goes back to a circular shape, which at first might seem like a step backwards from the D shape on the X5, but it still cleans right to the edges thanks to the extending true edge mop and wide-reaching vacuum brush. I'll talk about them a bit more later in the review. It's slim, just under 4 inches tall, so it can slip under furniture without any issues, and it glides around obstacles more smoothly thanks to that circular profile. I also think it looks pretty cool as well. It has a nice, sleek aesthetic to it. Suction power is an area where the X8 certainly shines. It can hit up to 18,000 pascals, which is way beyond most other robot vacuums. For context, most premium models top out around 6,000 to 8,000 pascals, with the Saros Z70 and its 22,000 pascals, geez, being a bit of an outlier. You'll hear it kick into high gear when needed, and it's able to pull up fine dust, pet hair, and grit from carpets and gaps like a champion. At high power levels, it will use more battery, but as I'll explain later, that's not really an issue. But if for some reason it is for you, you can turn the power down within the Ecovacs app if needed. It utilizes a newly designed Zero Tangle 2.0 brush underneath, which helps stop long hair from getting lodged deep into the roller. If you've got pets and hair is an issue, this should be able to handle it. I've got 2 dogs at home, and normally with a regular robot vacuum, you end up pulling clumps of fur and hair out every few days, but I haven't had to do that once. Instead of the usual spinning pads you see on most high-end robot vacuums and mid-range robot vacuums nowadays, the X8 Pro uses a vertically spinning roller mop. Ecovacs calls it the Osmo Roller, and I certainly noticed the mopping improvements when comparing it to the X5. It spins at 200 rotations per minute while applying downward pressure to remove tough stains and grit. While doing this, it constantly rinses itself with clean water while scraping off the dirty stuff, meaning it's always clean water that's being used, which, although it's hard to tell whether clean water or dirty water has been used when just looking at a wet floor, is very nice to know. The roller will automatically lift up to a maximum of 10 millimeters when it detects carpet, and I like how within the app you can now tell it to vacuum carpeted areas first before starting that mopping cycle. This will reduce the chance of slight mistakes where your carpet might get a little bit wet. What really sets it apart though is the true edge technology. Because of its rounded shape, it can't get close up to skirting boards, edges, or walls. To accommodate this, the mop can actually physically extend out from the body to ensure a full clean. It's pretty cool. Now, to be honest, don't go thinking this is a miracle worker. The X8 won't lift baked on kitchen grime, but for regular maintenance and mild stains, it's up there with the best robot vacuums I've used. Now let's be honest, these base stations are now pretty standard in high-end robot vacuums. If you haven't used one before, the base basically does everything so you don't have to. It empties the onboard dustbin, washes the mop, dries it with hot air, refills water, and drains the dirty stuff. The only things you'll have to do are empty the dirty water tank, refill the clean water tank, and replace the dust bag when it's full. I had my robot cleaning every morning, and I would have to replace the water once a week and the dustbin maybe once a month. a month and a half. Annoyingly though, Ecovacs wants you to buy replacement dust bags, which aren't exactly cheap, especially when the price is already pretty high. But if you can stomach it, you can actually just get your hand in there and drag it all out, or use a fork and then reuse it. So it's not a biggie. Now, the base station for the X8 does all of those things I've mentioned, and this will come down to personal preference. In my opinion, the design is much better. It's more compact, it's easier to fit into your space, and it actually looks decent in a home. The 4-litre tanks are visible from the front, so you can see at a quick glance if they need refilling or emptying. I also like that they're just sitting in the top, so it's very easy to access them. And there's also a mop tray in the bottom, which makes fixing potential water pooling issues much easier. These are all small quality of life updates, but they just make things that much easier and, in my opinion, that much better. Mapping and navigation is handled by a combination of LiDAR, which stands for light detection and ranging, which is basically just laser scanning, and visual artificial intelligence. The robot vacuum will map your home quickly on the first run. It will label your rooms automatically, and then it lets you rename them or set no-go zones through the app. It's all very intuitive, all very easy. The navigation is clever too. It adapts in real time. To test this, I blocked one entrance to a room and left another entrance open, and the robot vacuum simply used the second door without any issues. Obstacle detection though, it's still a bit of a weak spot. Now this will avoid large stuff like shoes, kids' toys, or furniture legs, but it does occasionally still get tangled in cords or thin fabric. I've had it wrap itself up in an apron string more than once, and it's frustrating that this hasn't been solved yet. Sure, you can prep your space or set boundaries in the app, but at this price, I do expect a bit better. It's been like this for quite a while now. The Ecovacs app is well laid out, responsive, and it gives you complete control. Suction levels, water usage, schedules, mapping, multi-level mapping, so you can set the robot up on a different level if you've got stairs and it will remember that area. Goes a little bit against having an autonomous robot vacuum in my opinion, but if you need it, it's there. It's also got different cleaning modes. As I say, it's all there. It's also got a UI update recently. It looks a little bit different to the one I used with the X8 Pro Omni, and it's noticeably faster, simpler, and more modern. Now, voice control comes via Yeeko GPT, Ecovacs' in-house assistant. It's now powered by large language model technology, so it understands more natural speech, and you can now type commands to it if you want as well. When it works, it's great. You can say things like, "Hey Yeeko, mop the kitchen," or "return to base," and it will do it. But it's still a little bit hit or miss. I've had to repeat myself a few times, retype what I was asking in a different way, and when it fails, it gives me a very unhelpful "please wake me up" message, which sometimes doesn't make any sense because I'm standing right next to it. Still, it's improving and it works well enough for basic tasks, and yes, it supports Apple HomeKit out of the box, which is a nice touch. Now with the battery, you're looking at 134 minutes on standard mode and nearly 5 hours on quiet mode, which is solid. Although, to be honest, battery life isn't really an issue, as when the robot vacuum is low on juice, it will automatically return to the base to recharge, then resume cleaning where it left off. So unless you live in a freaking mansion, it will get the job done without much downtime. So with all that covered, the X8 Pro Omni doesn't really change the game, it simply improves it. It brings together all the best features of modern robot vacuums and pushes the performance further without adding expensive gimmicks like the robot arm on the Roborock Saros Z70. You get top shelf suction capabilities, that's hard to say, a tangle-free brush, a scrubbing mop that actually lifts dirt, and an auto-maintaining dock base that fits into your home without being an eyesore. It's not perfect, it still struggles with cords occasionally, and the voice assistant could be smarter, but these are small trade-offs for what's easily one of the best, most capable robots I've used. If you've got pets, mixed flooring, and you want to clean without lifting a finger, the X8 Pro Omni delivers. Just know that premium performance comes at a premium price. That's been my review. Let me know what you think in the comments. Similarly, if you have any questions, fire away. There's a lot to cover with these robot vacuums, so I'm sure I will have missed something. Either way, thanks for watching. Consider hitting that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next review.